For one person driving down a quiet road, that moment came when they saw a small ginger-colored lump lying motionless on the asphalt. From a distance, it looked like a discarded piece of clothing, or maybe some road debris. But as they got closer, the horrifying truth became clear. It was a cat, a beautiful ginger cat lying completely still, eyes closed, seemingly gone. They pulled over, heart pounding, expecting the worst. They gently approached and there was no movement, no sign of life. It looked like they were too late. For all intents and purposes, this poor soul was gone. Another tragic victim of the road. The person stood there for a moment filled with sadness, but then a flicker of doubt. Oh, what if? What if there was still a chance? They couldn't just leave her there. So with a sliver of hope against all odds, they carefully scooped up the cat's limp body, wrapped her in a blanket, and rushed to the nearest animal hospital. The entire drive was silent, filled with a heavy sense of dread. They were preparing themselves for the vet to confirm their fears. At the clinic, the veterinary team sprang into action. They examined the cat and then, a miracle. A faint, shallow breath, a barely there heartbeat. She wasn't gone. She was hanging on by the thinnest of threads, but she was alive. She had severe head trauma and multiple injuries, but she was a fighter. The rescuer, overwhelmed with relief, gave the go-ahead for all the necessary treatments. They named her Hope. It was the only name that seemed to fit. The next few weeks were a roller coaster. Hope had a long and difficult road to recovery. There were days she was bright and responsive, and other days where she seemed to regress. But her rescuer visited her every single day, whispering words of encouragement, telling her she was loved and safe. Slowly but surely, with incredible care from the vets and the unwavering love from her new human, Hope started to heal. Her eyes became bright. Her purr returned, a soft rumble of gratitude. She started eating on her own, and eventually took her first wobbly steps. Finally, the day came when she was healthy enough to go home. It was an amazing transformation. This cat, who was found practically dead on the side of a road, was now exploring her new home, purring and cuddling with the very person who refused to give up on her. But the story doesn't end there. In fact, the biggest surprise was yet to come. A few weeks after settling in, her rescuer noticed Hope was gaining a bit of weight around her belly. A quick trip back to the vet confirmed the unbelievable. Hope wasn't just getting chubby, she was pregnant. Despite all the trauma, all the injuries, this incredible survivor had been protecting not just her own life, but the lives of her unborn babies. A few weeks later, in the safety and warmth of her loving new home, Hope gave birth to a litter of healthy, beautiful kittens. The rescuer, who had saved one life, ended up saving an entire family. It just goes to show you, doesn't it? Never ever give up. A little bit of compassion can change the world, not just for one soul, but for many. Hope and her kittens are a living